Welcome to Waffle Wars. This video will guide you through the rules, setup, and gameplay so you'll be ready to start playing in no time. Waffle Wars is a board game startup that originated from a high school art project. People love the game and it gained traction in the community because of its easy and addictive gameplay, so we decided to expand on it and make it publicly available. The game is a mix of tic-tac-toe, checkers, and Connect 4, all on a waffle board. Now that you know what Waffle Wars is all about, let's take a closer look at the rules and how to get started. 2 players, 1v1. This is the standard turn-based play for Waffle Wars. Strawberry is placed first anywhere but the 4 corners of the overall board. After that, the players take turns placing pieces, in alternating order. 3 players, 1v1v1. 1v1v1 is clockwise. This is only possible with a third game piece added and is not optimal because the board gets cramped and it is harder to win. The third added piece goes last, but on their first move they can place 2 pieces. Besides this, they have no other equity privileges. 4 players, 2v2. 2v2 has the same rules as the 2-player standard, but instead of one person playing all the pieces, 2 people take turns placing pieces for their team. The turns would go player 1, strawberry, player 1, blueberry, player 2, strawberry, player 2, blueberry, and repeat as such. Sit across from your partner with opponents to your sides so that if you take turns in clockwise manner, it naturally goes in the correct order. You cannot tell your partner where to place a piece or to jump. No table talk. 6 players, 3v3 or 2v2v2. 3v3 or 2v2v2. This is only possible if you have a third game piece. 3v3 has the same rules as 1v1 and 2v2, but now you have 3 people on both teams. So remember to sit next to your opponents and take turns in a clockwise manner. In Waffle Wars, there are 4 main ways to win the game. First, a 3-force quadrant win. The board is divided into 4 3x3 quadrants. To win one of the quadrants, you need a 3 in a row, straight or diagonal, or a 2x2 square. The 3 in a row or square must be within the quadrant to win. You cannot cross quadrants. A quadrant win can be undone through jumping at any point in the game until the player has 3 out of 4 quadrants won. At that point, they instantly win the game. A 5 in a row, cross quadrant. This is an instant win condition. It can be diagonal or straight and can be across 2 to 3 quadrants. If you have a tri-quadrant 5 in a row, that is called a saucy fellow, because it is mischievous and bold, yet slightly disrespectful in a humorous way. If you have a 6 in a row, this is called a super mega flex win, because you are flexing the fact that you won with a longer line than needed. The next way to win is filling a quadrant. Fill all 9 spaces in a quadrant with only your pieces. This may be challenging, impossible even, when your opponent has an edge or corner piece that cannot be jumped. The fourth and final way is depletion. Capture all your opponent's pieces that they have available to play or jump, so they have no moves left to make. If they run out of pieces in their hand, they can still play if jumps are available, but when they run out of moves, they lose. Game start. The game starts with an empty board. Strawberries places first, anywhere but the 4 corners of the overall board. After that, the players take turns placing in any open space as long as it's not a locked quadrant. Jumping mechanics. As a turn, capture an opponent's piece by moving 2 spaces in any direction into an open space in a straight or diagonal line over the opponent's piece. This can be done across quadrants and regardless of quadrant locking. In fact, this is how you unlock quadrants or double lock quadrants. You cannot double jump in one turn under normal rules. What is a locked quadrant? When a quadrant, one of the four 3x3s on the board, is won by a player, it is considered locked off from the other player or players, and owned by the player who has a win condition in it. The other player or players who have to remember if there is a 3 in a row or a square, and if so, they can't place in that quadrant. When the win condition or conditions of the player who owns the quadrant are removed through jumping, capturing of pieces, the quadrant is reopened for play. Civil War. If someone by jumping creates a win condition for themselves in a locked quadrant owned by the opposing player, the quadrant is double locked and no one can place in it, as long as there is an equal amount of win conditions in the quadrant by each player. If a player has more win conditions, they own the quadrant, and the quadrant is double locked in a civil war until jumping from within or from a different quadrant causes there to be an unequal number of win conditions between the players. In Waffle Wars, strawberries go first so that they are a step ahead. To give blueberries an equal chance at winning, there are nerfs and buffs. Strawberries cannot go in one of the four corners of the overall 6x6 board on their first move. If strawberries win, blueberries have an extra move, only if it is a placement that causes there to be a win condition for them. When blueberries create their win condition, a world war begins. That is, both players have a game-winning condition, and it ends when a win condition is created, enhanced, or eliminated, and there is no longer a tie. An enhanced win condition involves more pieces than another and therefore wins the war. For example, the Super Mega Flex win beats a 5 in a row win, and a filled quadrant and 3 quadrant win both beat the Super Mega Flex win, but tie with each other. Also, a depletion win beats all other wins because it involves all the other players' pieces. If you are playing with more or other toppings than just strawberries and blueberries, then the player who goes first gets strawberry disadvantages, meaning that they cannot go in the four corners of the overall board on their first move, and the player or players who go after them get blueberry advantages, meaning that if a player who placed before them gets a win condition, then they get one placement only if it causes there to be a win condition for them equal to that of their other players. If the win condition involves more pieces, it wins. If it involves less, it loses. If it is equal, a world war ensues, meaning the players must play until the tie is broken. That wraps up the rules of Waffle Wars and everything you need to know to get started. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to leave a comment on the video or on any of our other socials. We hope you enjoy playing and exploring all different strategies that make each game feel a little different. Thanks for watching and have fun playing Waffle Wars.